All right, Jackson Wilkie with the Boardroom. This video, it's got 677,000 views in just the last year. But this is a major niche miss. This actually killed my channel. Thank God I figured it out and we were able to pivot and move from it. But there's a lot of people who are not as fortunate. In fact, I've had 20 plus students lately in the past few months who've got major niche misses, especially on their YouTube channel and even some of the other social media platforms. Completely wipes out their business. So you may be seeing somebody in your market or other real estate agents doing some content and it just blows up, viral, tons of views, 677,000 views, but it's killing them. So they're messaging me, hey Jackson, I got this channel, I got 4,500 subscribers. I used to close, 3-4 deals a month from this thing, and I haven't even had a reach out in 30 days, 60 days. I go to the channel and I see some massive niche misses, bro. In this video, I'm gonna describe, I coined the term niche miss. So I will describe what a niche miss is, and then I'm actually going to be bringing up a bunch of YouTube channels. It could be yours. I'm just bringing up a bunch of random examples. I don't know who I'm going to find. I'm just going to do a bunch of searches, and I will show you niche misses. And the reason that I'll be able to prove it is because of the data, the analytics that I can actually back it up with. And I'm actually going to bring up a channel of a competitor in my market who's actually gaining ground on me, like growing. Even though subscriber count, I'm up quite a bit, they're starting to nip on the heels and close that gap. It kind of feared me a little bit. I never look at anybody's YouTube channels. I never look at anybody's videos. I want to be as original as I can, but everybody keeps asking me about it. So I went and checked it out, kind of thinking, dude, is this guy catching me? And then I figured out, oh boy, he's got some niche misses. So it's some misconstrued data. And so the main reason I want to talk about this today is so that you don't go down that path, because I got probably a dozen people in my, coaching, in my weekly coaching right now that I just got off the call actually. And one of them just started a new channel last week. The other one is thinking about starting a new channel, but I think we avoided enough of the niche misses and we got them turned around enough. But in the past, I've had agents who've had channels for 4 years, 6,000 subs, close dozens of deals, and their channel just completely died. So you want to avoid niche misses at all costs. So what I want to do is I want to break down, this video, why, and then I'm going to do a few things. But first niche miss that I want to talk about is like builders, right? So what happens is if I just go in here and I type in, and I don't even know what this is going to bring up, but I bet you I'll find something. DR Horton Homes is a major search, right? The first video, this is an ad, so let's not count that. The very first ranking video, this is crazy. And I did not plan this. I knew when I searched this stuff, because I get so many reach outs, that you'll see it. So what is this? Can you guys see what that says? The YouTube channel name? Dallas, Texas, new construction, right? What is the headline? DR Horton, America's home builder exposed, right? So not only is it a negative title, which really gets, blown out there, but you're DR Horton. So for the keywords of DR Horton Homes, he's number one. 41,000 views on this thing, okay? I've had multiple agents. So you can believe me or not, I don't really give a shit. I'm trying to help you guys as much as I possibly can. I've had multiple real estate agents email me and just straight up send me video messages, almost in tears, about how their business is destroyed if they don't close homes in the next few, month or two. Like they're gonna have to go back to work. And what happened? I used to have this freaking channel. I was closing all these deals, and then all of a sudden, I did this video. I did a couple videos, and they went crazy, and I get no more leads anymore. That's the niche miss, right? This is one of them. I'm not out here saying don't do DR Horton videos, but make it very, very strategic, and you need to be leveraging keywords of your city way more. But doing a negative DR Horton, what do you think? What do you expect? Like and this is easy now, it's hindsight. I've done these, so I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of these style videos, and now going back, I see what I did. I've removed these videos, I get them off of my channel, but let's break it down like easily, okay? Let's really talk about this, because it's not hard to think about. Okay, you've got nightmare and you've got home builder exposed. So if you have this DR Horton, nightmare, and exposed, immediately what does that tell you? I'm going into this video that we're gonna talk about the shittiest builder in America, and I'm gonna go in this comment, and every single person in the country who hates DR Horton, they're gonna be on this too. So they're gonna be in those comment sections blowing it up, blowing DR Horton up, right? That's what this video is going to be about. So if I'm moving to Dallas, Texas, and I see this video, do I really want to click on it? No, not really. But if I am anywhere in the country or out of the country and I dislike D.R. Horton, or I'm thinking of buying a D.R. Horton home in Iowa, I'm probably going to watch this freaking video. That's a niche miss, right? So I've got 1,000 examples of this. We're going to continue going on. What I want to do is, and Zach, I don't know if you're watching this. I'm not making fun of you, dude. I promise you, you're a gangster, dude. 4,400 subs, 240 videos. I can't teach people to even do videos at this point, so you're killing it. But I just want to look at the channel and we'll see. I don't know why we're glitching, what's going on. Maybe that's good. And guys, don't go search up his channel and blow him up. Like, dude, I bet you he's closing deals. I bet he's doing good. But when you go to his channel, and I'm looking at it at real time with you, like the thing that's overwhelming, you know, right away is there's more of these nightmares and don't buys and avoids. So to me, it's like, okay, he kind of got into the niche miss train. When you start doing these videos and they blow up and you get views, it feels good. I've had it happen, okay? I just showed you at the beginning of this video, a video that did it. Now, and I'll show you my competitor in my market too and what they're doing. So the thing about it is you're exposing all these builders. And so I feel like you're going to be bringing in kind of a negative. Now, the videos you watch him, they may be amazing. He may actually, but we'll go to videos and I want to go to most popular. I mean, guys, I've coached so many agents that I can just tell. Look at his #1 video, 41,000 views. Does that look familiar? It's the one that we saw. So then Lennar Homes, right? What builders hide? Builder upgrades, right? So we've got a lot of just like the regrets, the negatives. And then sometimes there's a lot of like national stuff, you know? So even though it does have DFW, it's not till the very end. So it's just like construction, home tips, you know, negotiating with your buyer. So a lot of these things can bring in a lot of people that are not even moving to Dallas. And so the example that I can give is almost identical to this. A guy who was closing a ton of homes and ended up having to, you know, unlist the channel, right? Start over, start from scratch. He went this route, closing a lot of homes, and then he goes, I just turned into the D.R. Horton guy. I mean, he goes, it was crazy. These videos just went insane. I felt good about it. So when I get to peel back the curtain, you know, and almost be the therapist, I get to hear what actually happens. And you go to a marketing event, right? We all go to them. We go to our Keller Williams, we go to our EXPs, we go to these just marketing events, and somebody gets pulled on stage and they did a video and it just went crazy, right? And that's really all you hear about it. But when you break down and peel back the curtain, that person may have never even closed a house off of it. So, you know, I've done this long enough now, and I've coached enough agents, and there's enough agents that I talk to that it's just that slow burn. It's just like being consistent with a really good niche about moving, relocating. That's why, like, how many times on these boardroom videos have I told you guys, if you're a little bit timid of vlogging I would just do map videos every week. I don't care what the view counts are. I'm gonna just get insane with my map videos, and every 3 to 6 months I can redo every single city, suburb. I can just redo them and just keep cycling. I guarantee you get a lot more business. So anyways, he was getting calls from all across the country like, oh my God, I saw your D.R. Horton video. I'm up here in Iowa. I'm trying to buy a house. Or I'm trying to get this D.R. Horton house in North Carolina. Yes, you might be thinking, well, just refer that shit off. It's not that easy. One, these clients are a little bit difficult to work with, you know, especially if they're in that super, super cheap. Two, we found, you know, I did too. I'll show you my video. A lot of investors call, and a lot of people, you know, you got to help them repair their credit. You know, they're looking for even cheaper deals. They're just tire kicking, you know, a lot of people. So how many of you have ran Facebook ads out there? Like, maybe comment down below. Like I have, right? That's how I started my whole career with Jesse. I was actually a title rep. I didn't know anything about real estate, but I started learning Facebook ads to help realtors. That's what everybody wanted. And I met Jesse, and we ran like tens of thousands of, well, his dollars, thank God I was broke, of Facebook ads. We never closed a deal. Now, I think there's certain markets with real cheap homes that you can, you know, convince buyers. But if you're in a bigger market or like a more expensive market, it just doesn't work. But what is your message? How do you get the cheapest leads, right? Amazing homes for under $299,000 in Beaverton, Oregon. The list is pretty small. And the people that it can, like every lead that we actually got from that, like I remember getting leads, I'm like, yes, this is the best feeling in the world. And you talk to them like, oh my God, I want to buy that house so bad. You're like, sweet, let's help you get there. And they're like, okay, my rent right now is $700 a month. I just lost my job, but I really need that house for me and my kids. And I'm like, oh, let's help you. Let's get it's just some people you can't help, right? So at the end of the day, again, like you'll sell, we find on YouTube people's sales price, I think that's what you call it, right? Let's say you've sold 20 homes, right, in your real estate career, non-YouTube, and your median sales price is $350. We see on average a 50% increase, right? So you're talking what, 175K on top of that. So your sales price now jumps up to 500s, 525s, 550s just by being that resource for relocating. And all we used to do is vlogs. We never even used to show homes, but we didn't do a lot of the negative news. We did a ton of vlogs. Me and Jesse vlogged 2-3 days a week, and it just worked, right? So you're gonna be tempted to do a lot of pros and cons, avoid moving here, cheap home, avoid this stuff, because it's just what gets the views. You look at YouTube, it's all negative news. Like, and if you watch a news show, whatever news show, like nobody watches the news anymore, but obviously they do. They always like, tonight on 60 Minutes, 700,000 people cross the border, Trump gets shot in the face. Like, it's just like negative, right? And that's what the world works on. So this shit's gonna blow up, but it brings in negative traffic, it brings in the national audiences, and it can completely deflate your channel. So what happens is this video just continues to cruise, and it's not cruising because of DFW. I bet she's not ranking for it. I bet it's ranking, well, as we saw, #1 for DR Horton. So anytime people are typing DR Horton homes, they're clicking on that video. They could be looking for it all across the country. That kills your Dallas, Texas channel. I'm sorry. It's just really tough to come back from those, especially when, the majority of what you're doing. So then he does some badass freaking, these thumbnails, but he's doing a lot of the nightmares. So he's also blowing up these builders, and I get it. Like, it brings in the traffic, but damn, homie, I'm just 4 hours south of you in Houston, and we sell a shitload of Highland homes, a ton of David Weekley homes, and I'm talking dozens and dozens of these. And whether you like them or not, at the end of the day, you're not here to buy the damn house. Jesse says this the best, right? He would tell me, he's like, we would walk in these houses and they were just complete hunks of shit. And as most real estate agents, they'll go in and tell you their opinion. Well, I don't like this and I don't like that. You guys should think about something else. And there's the client sitting there going like, this is my dream house. I've always dreamed of this house. These putrid, walls and the freaking shag carpet, like, this has been my dream. Who gives a shit what you like or not? You're there to really showcase if you want to sell homes, right? If you're trying to just, get as many views as you can, this is definitely the style you want to go. Again, homie, I'm proud of you. This homie is out here shooting videos. He's got 250 videos. He's got 4,500 subs. Dude's doing it, right? I'm proud of you. But it's probably tough to, draw a lot of Dallas, Texas leads, high-end leads, by doing all the negative. If I'm going to go buy a Highland home in a community in Dallas, Texas, and you're shredding it, I'm kind of like, well, I want to move on from that. Does that make sense? I hope, again, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That, like, this stuff's sick. Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't that look that just pops off the page right there? That wasn't even a niche miss, but you know what? That's a good example. I don't want to, I'm just going to, can I do that? Let me do this. We'll get rid of his stuff because I didn't even think about this niche miss, and I'm going to add it. Okay. I just typed in Texas home tour, right? And the reason I did that, again, I don't pre-do that. I just, basically the emails, the comments, the questions come in, the concerns mainly. And so I'm just like, all right, I'll search it. So if you notice, the very first thing that pops up in Nava Realty Group, by now, I think everybody's probably heard of him. I would love to talk to this dude. I never have. And I bet you they close a shitload of homes, across the country. But I've got 2 or 3, no, shit, way more than that. Probably a half a dozen agents doing the same thing and copying it. And I kind of think like first one there, you know what I mean, kind of wins. But you have to build basically like a whole state channel like in Texas, but he was the first to do it. And so I don't know, to be honest. I've never heard, someone told me they don't close like crazy amounts. Maybe they do, I don't know. But this was their style, and Nava Realty Group. So I think they've created a brand. So from there, like, dude, there's so many other people doing it, right? And these ones at least show their face. That one's a little bit tough. There's another niche miss. Man, I'm loaded up today and I haven't even gotten to it. There's a few issues that I find with this, right? This dude, I think, is actually in Houston right here. I've looked at their channel. and I've even watched this video, I skimmed through it because I thought about doing this, 183,000 views. You don't even see them. It literally just goes through the video and it's music going through a house. Like, how do you build the brand? How do you build brand you? Now the comments might be like, where is this house? Where is that? But then you got to go back into the comments. It's not like you can just reach out to that person immediately. So they may come, you know, to my channel to actually find it. So what the niche miss is I've got, again, some of my students, and you know who you are, so I won't say names or nothing, but they saw this, copied it. They had channels in big markets, you know. They're not getting leads, right? They're in my coaching. They're like, yeah, in fact, the conversation happened about 2 hours ago. 6,500 subs. Jackson, I'm at the point, should I just shut this channel down? Guys, I'm not making this shit up to sell you anything or do anything. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to help you. If you do this, right, they've kind of already taken the space, but who's the brand, right? Like, I don't know who that is. And when they were the only ones doing it, right? They're the only ones doing this. They kind of created that little, and I think someone said like they didn't even know what they were doing. One video just went crazy one time doing a tour, and they went from there. Well, they're the only ones doing it. Now, if you look, there's like 1,700 realtors doing this exact same thing. It kills the brand. I bet you it really shut them down. It saturates everything. So what you have to end up doing is spending more time trying to find the craziest freaking layout ever. Then you go do this, right? There's that Enos dude or Evers or Eves or whatever guy. He has toured for the last 3, 4, 5 years doing multi-million dollar mansions all across the country. And I bet that dude kills it with, you know, AdSense probably, but he's not selling, you know, those houses. Maybe you get some leads here and there. His goal is not selling houses, but he does make a lot of money by those luxury agents who pay him a shitload of money to come put their house on his channel. So he's making money probably that way, if that's the route you want to go. Because I've had a lot of agents reach out to me, Jackson, thinking about a couple different channels. I want to go, you know, where I'm doing these mansions. We all think it because, again, it's a niche miss. You get crazy freaking views, you know. They blow up with the mansion stuff. 21,000 views in 2 days. So he's the luxury home show. I don't know if that's all, you know, he does is luxury, but you're going after views, you're chasing views. And again, if you want to do that, you can make a lot of AdSense. You could probably charge people to do it, but it's getting more and more saturated. But that's, to me, is a niche miss, because and I'm talking to the real estate agent, right? I'm not talking to the content creators, because I feel like I'm really good at video and content. Like, I've thought about touring around and doing this because I could probably do it as good or better than anybody out there and blowing it up. But I'm also like, all right, whenever I do those things, it just takes me away from everything. I do actually make some AdSense, I grow, whatever, but I make 10 times more money selling hundreds of homes a year and giving people information about the house. So every time I do this stuff, it just kind of blows up. Right there, again, niche miss. This is one that I was going to talk about. We found the cheapest houses, huge lots, right? 77,000. This is in the Houston market, 198.9. So these can really take you down a different path as well. I want to make sure that I didn't forget anything. So let's just kind of rewind really quick. What we talked about was builder vids, and specifically DR for the example. Now, I do think, you know, the problem with DR, so here's the example. Let's go to my channel. I just show you, you know, we can go to YouTube Studio and we'll go back. I got actually I'm going to show you my competitor here in a little bit, right? I'll go to my channel. I'll just show you my channel, right? We go here. My top video is still this one. So 1 year ago, I posted that. In fact, I'll look it up. You know, once it gets over a year, it just says 1 year. So this could actually be almost 2 years old, which I think it is. 667,000 views. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's click on it.
All right. Listing your
house. Let's watch that.
house on the market isn't the only way to sell your house. Selling to us is much faster, easier, and way more convenient.
Instant cash offers, baby. I just wanted to see that real quick. So what we'll do is we'll actually go to that video. I'm going to pull up the analytics, and hopefully this should show me. So June 20, the first 4 days is June 28th, so June 24th. So we are 1 year. Well, you can see it right there. We're 492 days old. That's pretty easy. So this video is 500 days old. That's pretty cool though. It has made me $6,000. That'll cover some editing costs and stuff. But I'm going to tell you what happened with this video. I'm actually at a point now where I would unlist it, but it does bring people to the channel. Whereas I think, you know, my competitors have really gone down this rabbit hole with it. And it's not a bad thing. You know, you definitely get a lot of attention from it, but 500 days old. And this is again why I love YouTube, because I mean, it's just like, it doesn't look like an impressive graph, but we're starting to get to 750,000 views on that thing. Oh, and there's one other thing I want to show you. Check this out, the reach, 10 million impressions. So the reason I show you guys, I've got 677,000 views from it. I got 10 million impressions. You're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I get this all the time. Everybody, like I was the first one to do this video, Houston, Texas, most affordable, in 500 days ago, right? And it just absolutely erupted. So I felt amazing. I am not lying. I was like, this is amazing. This is great. I'm on the video side of it. Well, I'm going to show you here in a second my competitors and also, you know, what this does. But let's talk about the story. So I'm talking with JoJo and we're out cruising around and I was like, hey, dude, that video is going bonkers. And I can see the emails. I control it, right? And it's just like boom, 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 boom. So even Joe at the beginning was like, this is awesome. Oh my God, our leads have, it blew up. A week later, 2 weeks later, you know, I'm like, man, we should go out and find some more cheaper home. We should go do that. And he's just like, yeah, I've been doing all the research. Like, you know, that's really one of the only spots. I found 2 other ones where you can get homes like starting in that 220 to 250 range that are actually kind of nice and not like 3 hours outside of Houston. And I could just see his face. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I mean, he's like, we can go shoot it. He goes, but I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just on the phone all day with these people. It's a lot of investors. They're just kicking the tires. They want me to run all these reports, all these numbers. They want me to send these pictures. They want me to go out and show this shit. And then I'm getting all these calls from people who, you know, are looking for that $200,000 home. They don't have the credit. They don't have down payment. They're kind of waiting. So yes, have we sold some of those? You're absolutely right. We have. We've definitely sold some of those like $230,000 homes. But the work it takes and the amount of phone calls, right? So when people are telling you, oh, I get all these leads, right? Like people who do these Instagram posts and these, and all these DMs and these reach outs and these leads, are they amounting to sales and good sales, right? So if we're going to get 10 of these home sales off of that house or off of that video, but it generates hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads of people who can't afford homes or who are tire kickers, that's when I was like, well, shit, we should probably stop doing that, right? So the reverse of that, let me show you something. And this is crazy, guys. I'm not going to just show you the cheap shit, because if you go to my channel, and the good news is a lot of our drivers are like inside the 600,000. So this is acreage homes, big old mansions. So I saw that happen and I was like, okay, I'm going away from it. I'm not going to do any more cheap houses. All of my competitors, hundreds of Houston agents, they're doing the cheap shit left and right. Cheap, right? Because they're getting the views and they're probably now actually getting reach outs. They're actually getting leads and they're actually getting views, and their channels are growing where they were watching me just kind of clean house. So it made me feel a little bit better. I don't ever look at anybody's channels. I like promised and vowed to myself, and Jesse goes, why don't you? And I was like, well, you got to think about it. At this point, I've got every agent in Houston copying exactly what I do, right? So if I watch their stuff and then I'm driving out, I'm just gonna, the whole time in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm just copying what they did, right? If I go out there and I don't even know if people have done it or not, which by now every square inch of this place has been covered, I go into it with this like elevated mindset of it's my first time or it's something new to me, right? And so I have that energy. And he was like, you know, that makes sense. He goes, you know, my wife watches everybody's and she you know, puts them in her notes as she watches. And I was just like, it's just not my style. Like, I want to know when I'm going there, it's kind of my first time, or I'm going to create my own story and I'm going to do my own thing. And I don't give a shit what anybody else does. All of that being said, I wanted to look, because as people were starting to catch up, I wanted to go, well, what are they doing? Something better, different, whatever. And every channel I went to, same story, same. And so it made me feel better, you know, and right now is not a time to judge really the strength of your channel, because everything is down with the election. If you go to YouTube, I mean, most of the content's going to be, you know, Kamala, Donald Trump, PBD interviewing you know, Rogan's going to be interviewed. So it's just, that's what is clogging the airwaves, and it's just a tough time right now. Anyways, to that point, I've got, you know, this we generated a lot of business off of. I ain't gonna lie to you. And we sold like a $1.4 million home from that video. But this video was over in, I believe, Sienna Plantation, 360 or 56,000 views. And actually, there's something about this video that's different from everything else you see up here. And actually, I did a whole entire coach, like 30-minute coaching on this video, this thumbnail. And I was like, why did I go away from that? And I broke it down for my coaching students today. So we did a mega deep dive. In fact, we broke open a couple of people's channels and I just like broke it down for them. Again, if you're interested in that coaching, we've had so many reach outs about it. We're actually doing interview process too. So we don't just accept everybody. I don't want just people who think they want coaching come in and come out. It's people who've got, as you hear all my examples, these are people, you know, that kill. But there's a lot of people who are just starting. They're brand new, but they are shooting videos. Every single week they show up, I got more videos to look at, more data. So we want to know that you actually are going to do the work. But info@jacksonwilkie.com, and that you can pay to get into our high-level coaching. That gets our courses. And if you're like, you know what, I just want to be with you even more. I want you in my back pocket, Jackson. That's why so many agents are same email. Jackson, I want to learn more about partnering with you at EXP, you and Jesse. I want the coaching. I want all the courses. Well, you get it all free and you get my number personally. I help you out anytime. So both of those are available for anybody. If you are going to put in the work though, not if you just think I'm going to come fix everything for you. But this video, golly, I got to do more like that. That's a killer. So, and then as you see here again, bigger, you know, these bigger, and these aren't mansions. These aren't like 2 million, 3 million, 4. These are in the 700s, 800s. That's the bread and butter I found. That's what we sell, you know, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, 800s. Like that's what we sell a ton of. They're amazing clients, right? So the niche miss is not only, actually, I think I can do this. Yeah. Okay, right here. 255,000 views. This one's got 618 and it's kind of a niche miss. I got hooked on it, right? And 134,000. That's just 4 months ago. So that video is going. You know it's not a niche miss? What do I always tell you guys? Map videos. Look at, these are in my top 8 videos. Boom. Still. 1 year ago, map videos. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to told you. I can make a whole channel about that. I love what I do. I love vlogging. Here's another cheap one, niche miss, never do it again. But these map videos kill it. So again, guys, what did I just do? I took my top 10 videos and like 3 of them are my bread and butter. The rest are all niche misses. And so I don't do them anymore, right? So a lot of my competitors see what happens on these and they continue to do it and they continue to do it and they continue to do it. And they establish themselves as that, right? So once you establish as that, you can't really dig out of it. So you will notice that when they do the other videos, they kind of fall on deaf ears. Whereas I go and do, you know, like these ones are bread and butters and they blow up, right? This one, this one, this one. What we actually sell, you know, these homes. And in 10 days, we got 10,000 views, right? So my niche, the people that are watching me coming every single week, because 80-90% of our traffic is like this style of homes, that's what we're getting, right? So if you get on the niche misses, so I did the acreage, and then what did every realtor in Houston do? Acreage videos up the ass around here, right? Well, this one went nuts. This is one of the first ones that went nuts. 255,000 views 7 months ago. Guess what? Joe's like, yo, man, we got to go back out there. There's the new model homes are all available. That video went crazy. I'm like, well, how many homes did you sell out in that community? He goes, none. I'm like, so why the F are we going out there? Like, I don't want to go to a place just to get views. It may feel good to get that many views, but you know what feels better? Closing 10, 12, 15, 20 homes in a month. That's what pays me, right? So I'm just trying to, like, again, be real with you guys, be honest. We're breaking this stuff down. So then you're like, okay, what's these other niche misses, right? So, and I just want to kind of, so if you go to like living in Houston, Texas, you know, obviously we got all us, and then here's one coming up. Boy's been putting in a lot of work, but he was starting to get even and actually catch me low. He's got 35K subs. I got like 52K subs. And so through JoJo, I've never talked to him, never met him, but he always pins down JoJo, asks him like, what are you doing, this and that, like trying to get info, and then told him, you know, the leads that he was getting, it was quite a bit lower than ours. So as of recently, and he still kills it, closes a shitload of homes. I ain't gonna, that's why you guys can go do these. You can emulate what you see out there. You're going to close a lot of homes if you do it right. But when you go to these like most popular, right? So he's got 2 of them that got more views than mine, 736 and 800K. But this is a 137 and 214. So when I did that, and you see it's 5 months ago, what was mine? 5 years, or sorry, 500 days ago. So he saw that was, I was doing my thing, and he wanted to catch up. He's like, well, I see that one video do it. So he started going cheap. And that's what blew up, and you go to a lot of the other videos just right after. Well, here's his 3rd place video, 89,000, right? 80, 70, 60, 50. So great view counts, but comparative, right? He's got 2 just absolute massive bangers. So what's the niche miss, right? So if you're only, if and some of these are 2, 3, 2 years old, whatever, that's got 83 is one of his top videos. So as of recently, he's got these 2 videos that are just dominating really any video out there. They're probably bringing in, I would guess, anywhere from 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 views every 48 hours. So like, I know what that feels like. It's amazing, and he's growing and growing. But the one thing that he actually told JoJo was like, yeah, I did those because you guys are doing it. He's like, I'm building a team, so I thought I would do it to field them calls, but we get a lot of those calls, So I've got other agents in my coaching that are in Houston, and they saw me do the cheap home, so they did it too. Again, I don't know if you heard me a little bit ago. When you establish as that's kind of who you are. When you do a DR Horton video and that's your #1 producing video, and all your other videos don't really grow, they don't get much views, that's because you've established as that person, right? So he's getting 800,000 views on some of these and getting just a lot of the cheap home phone calls. That's the leads that you're getting. You've kind of established that. So I know he sells a lot of other stuff. I'm not out here saying he doesn't. But that you just have to be mindful. And so the reason that you even talk about that stuff is that because you guys look at and you look at like the view counts right out of the gate. 10 days ago 3,000, 2 days ago 2,000. So if you look at his subscriber count, he's catching me a little bit, right? He's about 17,000, but catching me, almost doubling me per month. But my videos that I released 10 days ago have 10 to 15 to 20,000 views, right? So does that make sense now? So you have 2 super cheap $137,000 home and $200,000 home that are getting tens of thousands of views, and all your subscribers, that's your growth. Whereas, these are what's coming in as of, lately, that's where the growth comes from. So I want you guys to be able to go to people's, and you look, okay, we found, best deals. So under 300 again, but that's 2 months ago. That's not a relevant one. That's not that. Anyways, 2 months ago, he's got 21K views. I was like, whoa, that's his 3rd video. It was 2 months ago. But again, the cheap home. I just want you guys to understand he's closing deals. He's doing great. It's not like this is bad stuff. I had to see why everybody was hitting me up and going, this guy's catching you, he's lapping you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you must be kicking my ass. So I go and I look, and I'm like, well, the answer is pretty clear. So if you're looking in your markets and you're seeing people do these videos and they're blowing up with views, don't follow it if it's a niche miss, right? Hone in on what you do. Hone in on your niche. If you could work with the dream client and that's $500,000 to $700,000 homes for families, then that's all I'm going to talk about. So our coaching strategy we had today was like breaking that down. In fact, we have another agent in our coaching who's on like a coastal area, and I'm like, look, I have been on coast, and general YouTube coaches and marketers, they're going to tell you to do the same thing in every market. They don't know shit, right? I've been in that market. I know exactly what you need to do. So I was like, here's what you're going to do. You want map videos, you're going to break down this beach, that beach. It's mainly second home. You need to speak their language. Hey, you're not going to be here the whole time. He's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly who's moving here too. I never would, So you have to realize that, every market is different. You can't follow a general recipe, but going national and talking about, the cheapest this, and it's just like the Facebook ads. You put in the cheapest shit, that's where you get the most leads, the cheapest leads, but you work with a bunch of cheap people, right? And I don't want to I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, right? But you know what I know. You know what I'm talking about as a real estate agent. So it's tough. This stuff is not like do it tomorrow. And that's why look at my channel Junkies. Like these videos get 300, 500 views. You go and you look at real estate marketing, and there's videos out there with 150,000 views, 250,000 views. And it's usually like cheap Facebook ads. It's usually cold calling. It's usually, hey, I like video. I like YouTube. I like clients calling me. I've closed over 600 homes doing it. If you don't like YouTube, you don't like dream clients, then don't do YouTube. Pound the phones, pay for Facebook leads, do all that stuff. But the niche misses, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I want to round this out so you guys know. One was the builder vids, DR. Two, unless you want to be the cheap, I don't care. If you want to be the cheap, you want to get thousands of leads, like go cheap. And you'll close homes. Trust me, you will close homes. But you know, the cheap stuff, I'm gonna call it super luxury. Those get a shitload of views. I mean, tons of them. You've seen them. I've seen them. I'm telling you right now, they blow up. But what you're going to be focused on with this is, you know, going to be AdSense and maybe possible paid by listing agent. But you better make that shit look fire, right? Because I have a lot of agents reach out to me. They're like, hey, I'm thinking, you know, I'm trying to generate more leads. You know, I did some killer videos. They're badass. They're getting so many views. I'm like, cool. How many leads you get, you know, from that? They're like, I mean, nothing yet, but I know it's going to go. So I look at the channel and it's one of these, you know, super luxury. They toured like an 8.8 million and it's got this overhead view of this just ginormous mansion on like all this acreage. And I get it, right? They don't get any business from it. You may, you know, 1, 2, 3 times, you know, get some calls, some leads, but it's very difficult to close deals on that, right? So you just got to watch that stuff. And then 4, like my example is acreage, but it could be something different in your market. You know, that just, it looks amazing. So we have sold a shitload of homes that are on like the half-acre lots in that 400 to 600. We close an entire development out. So that's ones that I want to go back and do again. But doing acreage that's like 2-3 million, we just don't get any sales from it. They get a ton of views. So, you know, even my own numbers on my channel are kind of inflated, but you will notice that 80% of my videos, 90% are going to be right in that bread and butter, like that. We're going to show 300s to like $700,000 homes, and that is where we're gonna, you know, stay with the majority of our videos. So homies, this is the boardroom. Make sure you're coming every Monday at 10 a.m. Central. So subscribe not to lose it. And if you're just like, Jackson, I want you as my coach, I want you in my back pocket, all your courses for free, info@jacksonwilkie.com. Hey, some of you are like, I'm never leaving my brokerage. I love where I'm at. You just don't know until you don't know. In fact, 90% of the people that call and inquire about it, they go, no, I'm good where I'm at. But at least they know about it now, right? Usually 6 months later, they're like, yeah, I should have came 6 months ago. So just schedule a call with me and go, hey, I want to learn more about your partnership at EXP, how I get your trainings, your courses, everything for free. And that's a $500,000 course. That's, every time I say it, it's going up. $500,000 course. This is the boardroom. Go back to video 1, watch the whole thing through. You will not even find a course that you can pay $500,000 for that has this much value.